Hi everyone, and welcome to Ask Christa, the place where you can ask questions about how to work through business challenges and workplace issues. I'm Christa Dhimo, and today's listener question is the sixth and final episode in my Business Basics series. I selected this question from a variety of similar questions focused on the blind spots of founders. The listener question is, what areas of a business do founders overlook the most? Here's my short answer. An executable plan, which is a fancy phrase for knowing what you're doing and how you're going to do it. Founders have big ideas, which is good. You have to start somewhere and have enough energy and belief in what you're proposing to make something of it. But what I've seen the most is a pronounced lack of details to execute. But I'm here to say, founding a company is all about the plan and execution of that plan. I've heard founders try to tell me that business plans sound too corporate, or that they don't need a plan because it's a startup. Okay, whatever you say. I realize founders are often big picture thinkers, which is good. I'm a founder. I get it. But founding a business is more than just having a big idea. You need the idea to be practical. And you need the foundational aspects of a business if you're actually going to found a company. You need to know who your customers are, why they want to buy and use what you're offering, and how you're going to structure the work so you can increase the interest from your customers. Your customers are part of your market, the part we like to call the demand. And without demand for your product, you will lose money right away, paying for what it takes to produce and distribute your product, which is your supply. Founding a business means you are setting up an efficient structure and necessary processes to create and increase that demand so you can make and provide supply to your customers. You sell that supply to your customers as long as what you receive, the money you get or the revenue you receive from those sales, as long as that is bigger than the cost of supplying or the cost of manufacturing or the cost of your goods sold, you'll be in position to make a profit. A plan covers how that's going to get done and how you'll make sure your business is running well while paying and offering benefits to employees, developing your employees so they too can continue to improve and hence your business can continue to improve too. You need a plan so you know how you're going to pay your taxes, pay your bills, remain compliant with the rules of the road. And when you make a profit and can continue to expand your business or scale your business, getting into position to be a successful founder and hopefully enjoying yourself too. Being a successful founder takes far more than big energy, fast talking, and enthusiasm. It takes work, lots of it. And that work is focused entirely on what you are doing, what you are building, why, your customers, your market, and of course, how are you going to get it done? And that's the area of a business I see founders overlook the most. Full stop. What I really like about this question is how unique it is. Most studies, articles, and questions center around the personality profiles of founders, or the strengths and weaknesses of founders, or how the most successful founders think, act, manage, and lead. And it usually looks like one type of leader or one type of person. One type of founder. Rarely do people look at how the founder impacts a business and what a founder might overlook when it comes to business. And that's the biggest problem with asking founder questions. They usually focus on the individual and the personality. And also, just one type of founder. You know, the type everyone thinks of when they think of a founder. But what about all the other founders out there? What about the beloved founders who are kind and patient, humble, good listeners, focused on team success, not individual success, focused on long-term growth and care of a business? Look at B Corps, look at B Corp companies, B corporations. You're going to find a lot of founders there, unafraid to sacrifice or shift or change business structures or even control structures if it's in the best interest of success, which means the best interest of their business, which means, at least for B corporations, the best interest of their communities, their customers, the world. It's pretty cool stuff. And it actually exists. We just don't talk about it enough. I've known people who've told me to my face that those are weaknesses. Kindness, patience, it's weakness, and not the profile of the best founders. That's not true. At least, there's no evidence to support that. It may not be the profile of the most known founders, but like with all human metrics or personality assessments or strengths preferences, there's never just one trait or one strength or one way of behaving that makes a founder more successful than others. And no, there isn't. No, there isn't just one thing. And in truth, if we really want to get at it, a lot of it firstly depends on luck and timing. You know what else it depends on though? Planning and leadership skills and how well the founder can connect with good humans to get the plan done. Because successful founders bring people along to believe in something that hasn't been done yet and likely isn't completely understood yet, might not even be seen yet. That's the point of being a founder. You're literally founding something. Once you excite and inspire others to want to hear about your idea, then you have to keep them engaged while you describe it, and it has to be realistic enough for others to be able to see what you envision, that it's worth it. As such, there shouldn't be any mystery about what makes a founder successful or what makes a company successful. And the founder blind side, when it comes to the business parts, typically is around what they would consider boring, the plan. You see, it's generally the same traits as what makes a leader successful in bigger companies, and not just how well you sell your vision. It's also how patient you can be, whether you're able to sit still and take in a lot of information, and whether you can read a room, watch others, pay attention and listen to what they're saying and what they're not saying, build and cultivate the right relationships, and in a very savvy and diplomatic way, dissolve and walk away from the wrong relationships, or at least know how to put a pause on it. And wrapped up in all of that is how you plan to get it done. And so, well, there are all kinds of articles and studies that look at a certain founder trait or many founder traits that will make them successful or have them fail over and over. To me, studying or considering founder traits or the entrepreneurial personality isn't nearly as relevant or even as interesting as studying what it takes to lead a successful startup as a founder and execute on the plan. And that's what I love about this question. It focuses on what aspect of a business a founder overlooks. And in my experience, it's knowing what work needs to be done, a willingness to roll up some sleeves to get the work done, and measuring whether you're on track as expected. It's resisting this urge to compulsively jump into making a product or manufacturing a supply before you know who's going to buy it and how they're going to buy it, or how you're going to support the demand. A few years ago, I created a rule that I would only work with early stage startups that had a plan for how they would scale or expand their business. Vision is great, but not if you can't see what the roadmap looks like. For your resources, I have the same study I put in the show notes for episode 29, which answered the listener question, why do so many startups fail? The working article is from Kerr et al.'s 2017 paper, Personality Traits of Entrepreneurs, a review of recent literature. It is academic in nature, but it's very readable. And if nothing else, you can scroll through it and see a whole list of traits and see some characteristics around those traits. We still have a ways to go when it comes to entrepreneurs and certain personality types and getting the reliability where it needs to be. And I'm glad for that, actually, because I don't know that a lot of entrepreneurial studies are very inclusive. I don't know how many women entrepreneurs or women founders or people of color, those founders that aren't the typical image in people's head, are included in a lot of those studies, and they need to be. I also included an article from Megan Karasanidi, I hope I'm saying that properly, at Ring Central. Ring Central is an AI-powered customer communications tool, and they focus a lot on small businesses. I have no affiliation with Ring Central, nor have I used their products, and as such, I remain neutral and need to disclose that this is not an endorsement of their product, but they offer great perspective for entrepreneurs and small business owners and leaders in their blog section, so check it out. The article I'm providing is called 10 Reasons Why Startups Fail and How to Avoid Them. The article is short but thorough. Number 5 on Megan's list is a flawed business plan, but of course, I would put that as reason number 1 for failure, because if you have a plan, a real plan, it means you've done your diligence for all the other items that you're going to see on her list. And when you see it, maybe you'll agree. Or maybe you won't. That's okay too. Drop me a comment. Let me know. And so, I've also included the page from, and this will not surprise you if you know me or have listened to other episodes, the U.S. Small Business Administration's page on writing your business plan. Use it. It walks you through what you need to be thinking about and even offers a couple of templates for a business plan. Remember, SBA has a lot of resources available, including different early stage funding opportunities. So when you see their page about writing a business plan, it aligns to a lot of the support they provide overall to small businesses. Know your resources and use your resources. Here are my final thoughts. Starting up a business as a founder is a commitment. If you want to make that commitment worth it, you need clarity. You need to also effectively communicate, not just what you're doing and why, but to some extent, how you intend to do it. There's some who will jump on board with you because they have an entrepreneurial side also. They like to build things, they really want to feel less leashed up and tethered to bigger company constraints, and they're ready to go all in. But as the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding, or your fate is in the details. If you aren't ready to clearly articulate what your idea is or whether it's feasible, see episode 27 about prototype funding, and how you might go about it, even if notionally, you're probably not ready to talk about your business venture, and you're probably not yet ready to be a founder. As I've mentioned in the other Business Basics episodes, your early job as a founder is to build a plan that creates and increases value for your business and for your product. If you can't demonstrate that with a solid draft plan that highlights your readiness to get started and get started up and running, you're in for a bumpy road that could otherwise be avoided, or at least not quite so bumpy. And there you go, episode 31, and the last in our Business Basics series, where I consolidated dozens of listener questions into the most common ones related to learning about business basics. It's similar to what I did in season 1 with the strategy series. Episode 32 returns us back to more standalone questions, but they're still related to season 3's theme about the block and tackle aspects of running a business, so tune in. And keep the questions coming. Just go to my show's site, askchrista.com, that's Christa with a CH, where you'll see my latest episode on the front page in both video and audio. And check out the audio version when you can. It's available on my site, but also wherever you listen to podcasts. I love listening to audio shows, especially on my commute, and I record the audio version separately from the video version. Back to my site, you'll see the Submit a Question tab where you can submit your question. And while you're there, sign up for the More Answers newsletter, where I send out a Sunday night booster for our community to set you up for the work week. Thank you for your support. And remember, if you have a business challenge or workplace issue, ask Christa.